pollution, climate change, and biodiversity loss. The climate is heating up too quickly for people and nature to adapt. Habitat loss and other pressures mean an estimated 1 million species are threatened with extinction, and pollution continues to poison our air, land, and water. The climate crisis is adding to the pressures on nature as species and ecosystems struggle to adapt. Critical habitats, from rainforests to wetlands, continue to be lost to human expansion, including deforestation to make way for farming, logging, overfishing, and the illegal wildlife trade are all harrowing experiences that are happening out there to, excuse me, Mr. Speaker, I'll take it again, are all harrowing out populations of rare plants and animals. Air pollution, much of it from the burning of fossil fuel, causes around 7 million premature deaths a year. Nutrients from farming, sediments from soil erosion, and discarded plastic waste are polluting both fresh and coastal waters. The science shows that these interlinked crises are the results of unsustainable use of planet's resources and the irresponsible disposal of our waste. There is new evidence that households are associated with 2/3 of all greenhouse gas emissions, and the latest IPCC report shows that sustainable lifestyles and behaviors could reduce our emissions by as much as 40 to 70% by the year 2050. Mr. Speaker, transformative change, tackling Earth's interlinked environmental and social challenges requires holistic solutions. Piecemeal actions have failed to prevent the problems, and systemic transformative changes are needed to answer Earth's call for help. Mr. Speaker, the good news is that solutions and technology exist and are increasingly affordable. As laid out in the landmark UN Environment Programme report, transformative change involves shifts in the world views and values in addition to technological, economic, and social organization of our societies. It involves innovation, learning and cooperation, and the adaptation of governance structures, policies, business models, technologies, and diverse knowledge systems. It requires cross-sectorial planning and integrated approaches to find synergies and manage trade-offs in areas including food, mobility, construction, water, energy ecosystems, and human health. Making sustainable living the default option is the way to go. Truly, transformative options need to be available, affordable, and attractive to individuals so that they can make better decisions. For this year's environmental celebrations, these entities are urged to become agents of transformative change. Those already committed to set in motion new policies, planning, and investment. Where change has begun, it can be accelerated and scaled up. Individual and civil society actors are pivotal advocates, awareness raisers, and supporters. The more we raise our voices, emphasize what needs to be done, and point out who is responsible, the faster change will come. Mr. Speaker, successful advocacy also involves accountability, calling our players who are moving too slowly or not living up to their commitments. And along with this is with energy, production systems, and the protection of biodiversity. Key areas for transformation include global trade, transport systems, and how we build and live in our homes, cities, and places of work and worship, and how and where our money is invested, food systems, and what we do for fun. Mr. Speaker, for us in Ghana, this inspiring agenda has already begun and is already gathering momentum. On the 5th of June, that is just last Sunday, Ghana joined the international community to celebrate the World Environmental Day, the biggest international day for the environment, led by the United Nations Environmental Programme, UNEP, and which is held annually since 1972 or 73. The theme for this year's celebration is Only One Earth, with a focus on living sustainably in harmony with nature. In Ghana, we are focusing on plastics. Mr. Speaker, Ghana has developed a national plastics policy which seeks to solve the challenges associated with comprehensive plastic management, thereby improving the state of the environment and public health. The national plastic management policy is built on 4 focal areas, and when used together, we will achieve a comprehensive system for managing plastics and contribute positively to natural capital, environmental protection, and socio-economic development. And these 4 focal areas are 1, behavioral change; 2, strategic planning and cross-sectorial collaboration; 3, resource mobilization towards a circular economy; and finally, good governance, inclusiveness, and shared accountability. Mr. Speaker, at the core of the principles of this policy are the internationally recognized priorities of waste reduction first, followed by reuse, recycling, recovering energy, and lastly, disposal to be avoided whenever possible. In this regard, government is developing a circular economy framework for plastics management, finding solutions to deal with plastics, especially single-use plastics and plastics under 20 microns. The government currently maintains that the top priority is in identifying and tailoring an extended producer responsibility scheme to provide dedicated and sufficient funding for dealing with this plastic menace. Mr. Speaker, on the 8th of June, that is tomorrow, Ghana will join the rest of the world to commemorate World Oceans Day. The theme for this year's celebration is Revitalization Collective Action for the Ocean. The objective of the celebrations is to protect and restore the world's oceans that connect us all by acting locally and on a global scale, inspiring change in our management and utilization of the world's oceans. The day is intended to provide an opportunity for people to reflect on the benefits that oceans provide and emphasize on our individual and collective duty to sustainably manage the oceans by meeting current needs without compromising those of future generations. Mr. Speaker, coming back on the back of the World Environmental Day, the focus in Ghana is for responsible institutions involved in the management of our oceans to promote the 5 R's in the plastic waste management. That is, refuse, reduce, reuse, repurpose, and recycle. Mr. Speaker, I beg to re-emphasize: refuse, reduce, reuse, repurpose, and recycle, especially with reference to single-use plastic bags and those under 20 microns that we have tagged domestically as orphan plastics. The other point is to implement the national plastic policy, designate marine protected areas to protect marine ecosystems through the designation of ecologically and biologically significant marine areas. Adopt marine spatial planning as a tool for managing Ghana's marine space and environment. Encourage individuals to be innovative in converting waste into wealth. Encourage all new projects to be subjected to environment impact and safety assessment procedures. Encourage MMDAs to enforce their bylaws on waste management. Encourage regular cleaning of our beaches by coastal communities with various district assemblies providing logistics and support. ensure all waste treatment facilities discharges meet the Ghana effluent standard for the sector. Ensure institutions manage their electronic waste in accordance with the Hazardous and Electronic Waste Management Act, Act 917, and which is implemented through Regulation LI 2250 of 2016. And finally, institute a take-back system to ensure reuse, recycling, to reduce the amount of waste that enter our oceans from land-based sources. Mr. Speaker, on June 17th, Ghana will commemorate the World Day to combat desertification and drought. Under the theme, Drought, with a focus on early action to prevent disastrous outcomes, rising up from the drought together. Even though droughts have been with us, the recent droughts point to a precarious future for the world. We must note that drought is not just the absence of rain, but often fueled by land degradation and climate change. We therefore resolve to put our shoulders to the wheel and work together so that we can overcome the devastating effects on people and nature and prepare for drought-proof future. On this day, MESTI and its agencies will promote public awareness about desertification and drought. Let people know that desertification and drought can be effectively tackled through community participation, cooperation, and adoption of available solutions such as tree planting and conservation of our forests and greenscapes. Mr. Speaker, climate change, nature, and biodiversity loss, pollution, and waste are all evidence that the Earth is in a cold red mood and growing more threatening every day. The way out of this dilemma is to transform our economies and societies to make them inclusive, fair, and more connected. With nature. We must shift from planet healing. We must shift from harming the planet to healing it, to sustain our existence on Earth and to bequeath a viable Earth to generations down the line. Mr. Speaker, I thank you very much for your attention.
Very well. Honorable Member.